Hello friends, today we are going to see the part 2 of the coagulants and anticoagulants. In part 1 we have covered introduction to coagulation, coagulation pathway, mechanism of blood clotting and coagulation factors and their common names. Now in the part 2 we are going to see classification of anticoagulants, mechanism of anticoagulant as well as anticoagulant drugs. Now what is anticoagulants? Anticoagulants are commonly known as blood thinners and are chemical substances that prevent or reduce coagulation of blood, prolonging the blood clotting time. Anticoagulants are closely related to the antiplatelet drugs and thrombolytic drugs by manipulating the various pathways of blood coagulation. Specifically, antiplatelet drugs inhibit platelet aggregation, that is clumping together, whereas coagulation inhibit specific pathways of coagulation cascade, which happens after the initial platelet aggregation and ultimately lead to formation of fibrin and stable aggregated platelet product. Now we will see the classification of anticoagulants. Anticoagulants are divided into two parts. First is the in vitro anticoagulant and another is in vivo anticoagulant. In vitro anticoagulant examples are heparin, sodium oxalate, sodium citrate, etc. And in vivo anticoagulant, two types are there, injectable and oral. So in injectable, heparin are there, as in the oral, coumarin derivatives such as warfarin are there and indendione derivatives are there. Now these are some structures of in vitro anticoagulants such as sodium citrate, sodium oxalate. Now in vivo anticoagulant, here these are the structure of coumarin derivatives such as dicumarol, warfarin, etc. This is the indendione derivatives. Example is phenandione, acinindione, bromindione or diphendione. Now we have seen the classification which are in vivo and in vitro classification. Now we are starting with the oral anticoagulants which are specified in our syllabus. So first of all we are going to see the mechanism of oral anticoagulants such as coumarin. Now oral anticoagulants produce their effect by interfering with vitamin K cycle. Specifically, they interact with the KO reductase enzyme. KO reductase enzyme which convert reduced vitamin K or oxidized vitamin K is converted into the reduced vitamin K with the help of enzyme KO reductase. So this KO enzyme reductase so that vitamin KO cannot be recycled back to the vitamin K. This is the vitamin K, reduced form is the vitamin K. So first of all we require oxidized vitamin which has to be converted into the vitamin K with the help of enzyme KO reductase. And here our anticoagulant works over here. This leads to depletion of vitamin KH2, thereby blocking the formation of prothrombin, that is the factor 2 forms from its precursor, and the plasma content of prothrombin is thus reduced and blood coagulation is impaired. Now the most widely used oral anticoagulants are coumarin derivatives. Their therapeutic action depend on ability to suppress formation of number of functional factors of blood coagulation in the liver. These factors are described as vitamin K dependent factors since their biosynthesis by hepatocytes that is partially linked with the hepatic vitamin K metabolism. Oral anticoagulants are effective only in vivo because their principal effect is suppression of synthesis of prothrombin, proconvertin and other blood coagulation factors in the liver. They are sometimes conventionally called as vitamin K antagonists. Generally, these anticoagulants are used in patients with deep venous thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, arterial fibrillation and mechanical prosthetic heart valves. This is first oral anticoagulant we are seeing here, the warfarin. Here we represent the structure of warfarin. Warfarin is an oral anticoagulant commonly used in the treatment and to prevent blood clots. So what is the mechanism of warfarin? Warfarin is competitively inhibit the enzyme KO reductase complex, which is essential enzyme for activating the vitamin K availability in the body. Through this mechanism, warfarin can deplete functional vitamin K reserves and therefore reduce the synthesis of active clotting factor, the hepatic synthesis of coagulation factor 2, 7, 9, 10, as well as coagulation regulatory factor protein C and protein S require the presence of vitamin K. Vitamin K is an essential cofactor for the synthesis of all these vitamin K dependent clotting factors. Hence, warfarin is a medication used as an anticoagulant or blood thinner and commonly used in treatment of blood clot such as deep venous thrombosis or pulmonary embolism and to prevent stroke in the people. Here we are represent some properties of warfarin, which is the very white hygroscopic powder soluble in the water. Alcohol and acetone indicate the polar nature, whereas the two isomers are there, S isomer and R isomer. Warfarin is a synthetic anticoagulant used in the patient with orthopedic surgery, while the S isomer of warfarin has shown itself by the 5 to 8 times more potent than the R isomer. Now we are going to see the synthesis. Warfarin is synthesized via Michael reaction. This is the synthesis of warfarin. So here by a Michael pathway or Michael reaction we can synthesize the final product, that is the warfarin, by attaching 4-hydroxycoumarin to benzyl acetone in presence of pyridine. 4-hydroxycoumarin is synthesized from salicylic acid methyl ester by cyclization to chromone derivative using sodium and sodium methoxide. So here some details are there of the warfarin. Warfarin is a racemic mixture, as we have seen, composed of R and S enantiomer. Each enantiomer get metabolized with their unique pathways, and S enantiomer is appropriately 3 to 5 times more potent than the R enantiomer. Now, elimination half-life. The half-life of warfarin is generally 20 to 60 hours, or mid elimination lifetime is 40 hours. However, it is highly variable among individuals, and it achieves peak plasma concentration within 4 hours. Excretion, it is generally metabolized by the glomerular filtration in the kidney, and doses for the adult is 10 to 15 milligram per day for 2 to 4 hours, and it is available in the tablet form. So all these are the details of the warfarin we have seen. Now next part we are going to see is the another drug. It is the clopidogrel. Now clopidogrel is the anti-platelet agent or platelet aggregating inhibitor. Clopidogrel is a ADP receptor inhibitor. It is categorized as ADP receptor inhibitor, whereas this coumarin or warfarin, this was the vitamin KO reductase inhibitor. Clopidogrel is ADP receptor inhibitor, which is an antiplatelet agent used in treatment of acute coronary syndrome or in preventive treatment of patients who are at risk of thromboembolism, myocardial infarction or stroke. Clopidogrel drug antagonizes the P2Y12 platelet receptor and therefore prevent the binding of ADP to P2Y12 receptor. This leads to decrease in aggregation of platelet, prohibiting thrombus formation. The P2Y12 receptor is a surface bound protein found in blood platelets. They belong to G protein coupled purinergic receptor and are chemoreceptor for ADP. The first drug introduced in this class was ticlopidine, but due to the adverse effect, it is not much used today. Clopidogrel is thienopyridine that causes irreversible inhibition of P2Y12 receptor. Clopidogrel, ticlopidine or pragrosil are products which need to convert into the active metabolite in vivo to inhibit the P2Y12 receptors. So generally this clopidogrel, this is the antiplatelet drug. Here this is the adenosine diphosphate receptor inhibitor which inhibit platelet aggregation induced by ADP. A platelet activator which release from the red blood cell activated platelets and damaged endothelial cells. This active metabolite selectively inhibit ADP binding to the platelet receptor and subsequently ADP mediated activation of glycoprotein happens, thereby inhibited platelet aggregations in the major receptor for fibrinogen, and it impair activation, prevent fibrinogen binding and platelet and inhibiting the platelet aggregation. So this is the function of clopidogrel. Now synthesis of clopidogrel. So here it is synthesized from methyl mandylate which was prepared by reflexing chlorinated mandelic acid with methanol in presence of concentrated HCl. Chlorination of these esters with the thiochloride Q alpha methyl chloroacetate. So SN2 displacement of acetate intermediate with the thiene happens to form the clopidogrel. So here we are seeing the mechanism of clopidogrel, how this inhibits the ADP receptor and it acts as an antiplatelet drug. Now third is the minadione. Minadione is a prodrug, a simple naphthaquinone that is converted in the liver to phytodione. Minadione acts as a vitamin K analog, acting as a cofactor in the synthesis of factor 2, 7, 9, 10 in the liver. The vitamin K analog is needed in the step of gamma carboxylation of this factor, which renders them capable of binding calcium ions to phospholipid surfaces, which is essential for coagulation cascade. It is used in the vitamin K deficiency. It is also called as minadione, is also called as vitamin K3. These are some properties of minadione. It is pale yellow crystalline powder, insoluble in the water, soluble in toluene, alcohol and methanol. And here some assays prescribed over here. By this way we can quantize the minadione. So here we are finishing all 3 drugs which are prescribed in your syllabus. Thank you.